Hello, I'm Pat Palmer with A Minute for Life. I can remember some years ago when I was taking a course called Clinical Pastoral Education, a course used to train hospital chaplains. And there were a number of us in the class, and we visited patients in the morning and then had group classes in the afternoon to discuss our patient visits. Usually, we tried to see the patients early in their admission because hospital stays frequently would only be for a few days. But on this particular day, I had time to visit a lady who was being discharged the very next day. I had admissions notes that told me her age, her diagnosis, the admission date, and the probable date of discharge. As I looked at the information just before entering her room, and I could see that she was an elderly woman in her mid 80s, which at the time seemed very old to me, and that she was being treated for several chronic conditions, there was no cure for them, only mediation for her pain. She was sitting in her wheelchair, looking out the window and looking very frail and downcast when I entered the room. I introduced myself and I sat across from her, making some this light conversations, small talk, to try to break the ice and make her more comfortable talking to me as a complete stranger. And then after a few minutes, I asked her if she was happy to be returning to her home tomorrow. And she looked at me and her eyes immediately filled with some tears and she said, "I'm not going home. My family and my doctor say I can't live alone anymore, so I need to go to a nursing home." Neither the doctor or her family had consulted her about her feelings. The decision was a done deal, and she knew it. She didn't have the strength or the will to fight it. There wasn't a thing she could do about it, and there wasn't a thing I could say that would make a difference for this moment. Fortunately, I kept my mouth shut and we just gazed into each other's eyes. I could see the emptiness, the hopelessness, and the fear as her eyes pleaded with me in silence. I could only say how sorry I was and hold her hand. I couldn't get those eyes out of my mind the rest of the morning. And when we came together as a class in the afternoon, and it was my turn to share about my visit, I just began to cry and unexpectedly. Those eyes had touched my soul. I managed to catch up with her the next day as she was being wheeled out to the waiting medical transport vehicle that would take her to the nursing home where she would wait to die. Now that I'm nearly the same age as she was those many years ago, I wonder why we can't talk to the aged about their lives, about their futures. Yes, sometimes caregivers have to make hard decisions, but respecting their loved one's autonomy, their personhood, their dignity would be a wonderful gift to them. Remember, one day you will be them. Think about it.